You walk into Walmart in 2026 to buy a TV, and everything on that wall looks like a deal. Here is the dirty secret nobody tells you at the door. The two brands that store pushes at you the hardest are the exact two brands I told you last week to never buy. One of them, Walmart does not just sell, it owns. And when that TV quietly dies in year 3, the store hands you about 30 days of protection and a shrug. Meanwhile, another giant retailer across town does the complete opposite. And once you see the gap, you will never buy a television the same way again. This is Costco versus Walmart, the honest version. Walmart is not all bad. It sells plenty of the same good TVs everyone else does, and I will tell you the one time it actually wins later. But for the person who walks in without a model number, trusting the store to look after them, these two could not be more different, and the difference is worth hundreds of dollars and years of headache. So let us start with the biggest difference of all, the brands each store points you at. Walk into Walmart without a plan and the store nudges you, gently, toward two things: its own house brand, ON, and the brand it now actually owns, Vizio. Both of those sat in the danger zone of my reliability ranking last week, and that is not a coincidence. It is the business model. ON is Walmart's in-house badge, and it exists to hit a price, not to last. It looks fine for a month, then the menus start to hesitate, the apps open slower, motion smears on a fast Sunday match, and for older eyes especially, it becomes quietly exhausting to use. It is a fine screen for a guest room. It is a disappointing one for the room where you actually live. And then there is Vizio, and this is the part most people do not know. Walmart bought Vizio. The People's Champion cheap American TV brand is now a Walmart-owned product line, which means the store has every incentive to push it at you. The problem is the data. Consumer Reports pulled its recommended rating off 7 different Vizio models specifically over reliability and dropped the brand into its lowest tier, estimating roughly 1 in 5 Vizio sets develops a problem inside 5 years. And it is rarely the dramatic dead screen death. It is the slow poison, the streaming apps that freeze, the inputs that drop, the smart system that crawls until you quietly hate the set by year 3. So the store that owns Vizio and makes ON is the store steering an unsuspecting buyer straight at a 1 in 5 gamble. That is round 1, and Walmart loses it badly. Now Costco. Costco does not have a junk house brand to push, and it curates hard. It carries a deliberately short list of televisions, and the ones it stocks are chosen because they make members happy enough to renew the card. So instead of ON and a 1 in 5 Vizio, the brand it points you at is a real QD-Mini-LED TCL with local dimming and a genuine LG OLED. The store's entire incentive is to not sell you something that breaks because a broken TV is a canceled membership. Same money, completely different starting point. One store profits when you come back happy. The other profits the moment the box leaves the building. Quick one before we go further, because I want to know who I am talking to. Are you a Costco member already, a Walmart regular, or neither? Drop it in the comments. And if this is already changing how you would shop, hit like. It pushes this in front of the next person about to walk into the wrong aisle. And think about what that difference actually does to the person standing in the aisle. At Walmart, the cheapest, most visible television is very often the one you should trust the least, and there is no salesperson on the floor whose job is to steer you off it, because that set is the store's own product. The incentives all point the wrong way. At Costco, the shortlist itself is doing the work a good salesperson would, quietly filtering out the junk before you ever see it. So even a buyer who knows nothing about panels walks out with something decent almost by accident. That is the hidden value of curation. You are not just buying a TV, you are borrowing the store's filter. One store lends you a good filter for the price of a membership. The other hands you the whole shelf, junk included, and lets you sort it out yourself, and hopes you grab the high-margin house brand on your way to the register. Round 2, and this is the knockout. What happens after the sale, when something goes wrong? Because every television, even a good one, can fail, and this is where the two stores are not even in the same sport. Buy a TV at Walmart and your safety net is thin. The standard return window on a television is short, around 30 days, and after that you are on your own, unless you bought a separate protection plan, which Walmart will happily sell you as a paid Allstate add-on at the register. So the cheap ON or the cheap Vizio, the exact brands most likely to fail, come with the least protection, unless you pay extra to cover a set that the data already says is a gamble. You are paying more to insure the riskier thing. That is backwards. Now Costco, and this is the trick that quietly makes a cheap Costco TV safer than an expensive one almost anywhere else. Costco covers the first 2 years on its televisions itself, and then bundles an Allstate plan that takes you to 5 years total, and on many sets that coverage is either free or about $65. The same 5 years of protection bought separately at Best Buy runs around $130. On top of that, Costco gives you a 90-day return window on a TV, 3 times Walmart's, no questions, no restocking drama. So when you buy a great value, slightly risky brand at Costco, you are buying it with the exact safety net the reliability data says you need, already attached, at no real cost. Remember the lesson from last week. On a value brand, you protect the purchase. Walmart sells you the risky brand and then sells you the protection separately. Costco sells you the better brand with the protection already baked in. That is the whole war in one sentence. So before I show you the deals, subscribe for honest, no-hype TV reviews, because next I am naming the 3 exact Costco TVs worth driving across town for, with the prices, and the first one is the best television deal in the country right now. You do not want to miss it. So here is what the curation actually buys you. Costco win number 1, and the single best TV deal in America right now. The TCL QM6K, Costco's Pro version, 65 inches, around $530, with the 5-year warranty in the box. Let me make sure that lands, because it sounds too good. This is a real QD-Mini-LED panel with local dimming, the exact spec that separates a genuinely good television from a flat, gray, edge-lit one, at 65 inches, for under $550. The same TCL QM6K panel, in plain form at other stores, has been running closer to $1,000 with no protection at all. So at Costco, you are getting nearly half off and a 5-year safety net at the same time. Real local dimming means a night scene keeps its black instead of glowing gray, and a bright afternoon match stays vivid instead of washing out, the 2 things the cheap edge-lit panels at Walmart simply cannot do. Costco's Pro label is the same good panel with armor bolted on, not a stripped-down version to hit a price. This is the television I would point 90% of normal buyers at, full stop, and it is the answer to everything ON and Vizio pretend to be. Who it is for? Almost everyone. The buyer who wants a big, bright, genuinely good picture without gambling on the brand. Who should skip it? Only the pixel peeper who watches films in a blacked-out room and demands true, perfect OLED black, and that person already knows who they are. Costco win number 2, for the people who want the best picture in the room. The LG C50 LED, 65 inches, under $1,500, and at Costco it comes with a free 5-year warranty. The C5 is the best OLED most people should buy, and the one you want, not last year's C4. Perfect blacks, every pixel its own light, a near-perfect picture from any seat, and LG makes the OLED panel the rest of the industry buys, so you are getting it from the source. Here is the Costco part. That 65-inch C5 lands right around $1,400, which matches the best price anywhere. But Costco wraps it in a free 5-year warranty, where Best Buy charges $130 for the same coverage. Same TV, same price, and Costco hands you protection for nothing. On a premium OLED you intend to keep a decade, that free coverage genuinely matters, because an out-of-warranty OLED panel repair is brutal, often hundreds of dollars, sometimes more than half what you paid, because the panel is most of the cost. The C5 also brings the full gaming kit, a high refresh panel, and the ports a console or gaming PC wants. So it does everything, not just movies. There is a 55-inch version around $1,200 if 65 is too big. Best picture, best warranty, no upcharge. Try finding that at the other store. Who it is for? The buyer who wants the best image in the room and keeps a television a full decade, and who watches in a normal to dim room where OLED earns its price. Who should skip it? A bright room, budget-first buyer, because the QM6K already gives you a great picture for a third of the money, and in a sunny room, you will barely see the difference. Costco win number 3 for the big screen crowd. The TCL QM6K Pro at 75 inches, around $700, and it scales up to 85. Same television as our number 1 pick, same real mini-LED, same 5-year Costco warranty, just enormous. A 75-inch mini-LED for around $700 is a price that did not exist 2 years ago, and there is an 85-inch version for people who want the living room wall to disappear. Remember the big screen rule. At this size, brightness and value beat everything, and OLED stops making sense because giant OLEDs cost 3 to 5 times this. And the warranty matters even more here, because a failed 85-inch panel is the single most expensive mistake in the TV aisle, and getting 5 years baked into a $700 set is almost unfair. Just respect the distance, because a screen this big wants room to breathe. Who it is for? The big room crowd who wants maximum screen per dollar and sits far enough back to swallow it. Who should skip it? The small living room. Because at 8 feet, an 85-inch set stops being immersive and starts being a wall you have to scan. So measure before you fall in love with the number. So be honest with me. What is the biggest screen your room could actually take? Wall to couch. Drop the inches below and measure before you dream, because 85 inches wants roughly 8 to 11 feet to look right, not to overwhelm you. And one more reason to time a Costco trip right now. Costco regularly runs a promotion where spending around $1,000 or more on a Samsung, LG, Sony, or TCL set knocks another $150 off at the register, and it stacks on top of the warranty. It does not replace it. So the play is simple. Wait for a week the $150 off is live, buy a set over the threshold, and you collect the low price, the free or cheap 5 years, and the extra discount all at once. 3 savings on 1 purchase, none of which Walmart puts in front of you. Now, in the name of honesty, Costco is not perfect, and there are 2 televisions sitting in that warehouse designed to part you from money you do not need to spend. So walk past these 2 even at Costco. Skip the Samsung Frame Pro. It is beautiful, it hangs flush, it shows paintings when it is off. And at 75 inches, Costco has it around $2,500. But you are paying a massive premium for the design and the art mode gimmick, not for a better picture. For that same $2,500, you could buy the 85-inch QM6K, a real soundbar, and still have money left over, and the QM6K has the better picture in a normal room. The frame is furniture that happens to be a television. If a gorgeous off-state genuinely matters to you, fine, buy it with open eyes. But do not mistake it for the best picture in the warehouse, because it is nowhere near. And skip the premium OLED tax. Costco carries sets like the Sony Bravia 8 OLED, and Sony makes a genuinely excellent, reliable television, no argument. But a Sony OLED at Costco still costs hundreds more than the LG C5 sitting a few feet away. And the LG uses the same kind of panel with the same free 5-year warranty. You are paying the Sony badge tax for a picture difference most people will never see in a normal living room. And do not let the free Costco warranty talk you into it, because free protection on a $400 overpayment is still a $400 overpayment. A perk on a bad value buy does not turn it into a good value buy. I tell you this because the Honest Channel has to call its own favorite store when it overcharges too. So when does Walmart actually win? Because it does, in two specific cases, and I promised you the honest version. First, if you do not have a Costco membership and you refuse to get one, and you already know the exact good model you want, say a specific TCL or Hisense or Samsung, Walmart will sell you that same set, often price matched, with no card required. Just go in with the model number locked, ignore the ON and Vizio displays entirely, and buy the thing you came for. Second, if you need it today and the nearest Costco is an hour away, Walmart's availability and pickup can simply be more convenient. And a good TV bought conveniently still beats a great TV you never drive out to get. The trick at Walmart is to never let the store choose for you. Bring the decision with you. The danger is only when you walk in undecided and let the shelves and the house brands do the deciding. There is one more Walmart situation worth naming, because a lot of you will be in it. The smaller, cheaper set for a bedroom, a kitchen, or a kid's room, where you genuinely do not care about a decade of perfect picture. If you just need a basic 32 or 43-inch screen that works, and you are buying it knowing it is disposable, Walmart is a perfectly reasonable place to grab one. And even a 1 at that size for that job is a defensible buy. The mistake is only when you carry that same throwaway logic to the main television, the one in the room where you actually watch, and let the cheapest option decide a 10-year purchase. Match the store to the stakes. Low stakes, a spare room screen you will not miss, Walmart is fine. High stakes, the set your family watches every night for a decade, that is exactly where Costco's curation and safety net earn their keep. And here is the membership math, because it is the objection that stops most people. If you do not have a Costco card, a single deal like the $500 QM6K with a 5-year warranty can pay for the basic membership several times over on the first purchase. So do not let the card be the reason you overpay somewhere else. If you shop Costco even occasionally, the executive membership pays a percentage back, and a 2% reward on a $1,500 TV is real money toward next year's card. And one trick almost nobody uses. Costco has a generous price adjustment policy. So if the price drops within a window of your purchase, you can often claim the difference back. Check the warehouse floor and the website both, because the selections and prices are not always identical. And the warehouse sometimes has a members only or floor model price the website never shows. So the verdict? Fast. On the brands they steer you toward, Costco wins in a landslide. Because Walmart owns Vizio and makes one, the exact 2 brands the reliability data says to avoid. On the safety net, Costco wins again, with a bundled 5-year warranty and 90-day returns against Walmart's thin 30 days and a paid add-on. On the actual deals, the 65-inch QM6K at around $530 with 5 years of coverage is the best television buy in the country, and the LG C5 and the big screen QM6K back it up. Walmart wins only when you already know your exact model, you want no membership, and you need it now. So here is the rule that protects you at either store. Never walk in undecided. Decide the model and the brand before you go. Protect the risky ones, and let the store earn your money instead of choosing for you. And if this just saved you from the wrong store and a 1 in 5 brand, that is your cue to hit like. It tells the algorithm to push this to more buyers walking into the wrong aisle this weekend, and it costs you nothing. Next on the channel, the biggest TV buying mistakes of 2026. The 10 that quietly cost people hundreds, counting down to the one almost everybody makes without realizing it.